Hey guys, so I'm recording this in post. I found more issues with the car, being the upper control arm, and the code did come on for the O2 sensor, which is weird because it's a new O2 sensor. It didn't come on after, but I cleared the code before I even installed it, so I think I should be okay. The low idle, still a problem. I got around to painting the calipers, so I'll show a video on that. And the control arm came in as well as the screws. So that will be a next upload, probably this week, or I'll schedule it out. But this Thursday I'm leaving to go, so I have only probably 3 days to do the valve cover gaskets, the control arm, and probably fixing the low idle, as well as the fog light. I have the fog light out, it's sitting on my kitchen table, and I will be painting that before it comes to the show. So enjoy the show. Flipping the view over, my telescopic steering wheel and all still works. I have my code reader here, and I will look it up. That is down here, and I feel like I plug this in every day. I've gotten very used to exactly where it is. So I will be reading the codes here. And it's slow processing. So it kind of actually took forever to load. So I have the 5 images here, being for the O2 sensor heater, circuit bank 2, sensor 2, sensor 1, the system 2 lean, bank 1, and a slow response for the O2 sensor circuit, and a system 2 lean, bank 1, which is a concern later for the low idle issue. So for today's O2 sensor install, I wanted to do a quick overview of any tools we may need. One, I always carry on me my multi-tool. I use the pliers, the flathead, and the Phillips head. These 2 oxygen sensor sets I bought from AutoZone. The wrench looks like this, and it's underneath the car currently. So I have the WD-40 Specialist Penetrant. It's like PP Blaster, but in my experience it's been better, and I feel that it's been proven better. An OBD2 reader to tell you which sensor you needed in the first place, and my soldering kit, which my friend Eli made a little cool kit. So yeah, those are all the parts here, and I will be it'll be a quick cutscene to what we'll be changing, but I have to extend this sensor to make it the length of the old one. I'm ready to get the car on stands, and I don't want to start it because I'll be working with the O2 sensor, and that is connected to the catalytic converter. So I will be pushing this back to that curb point. So I put the e-brake on, and you guys saw where I placed it up. I will need to find something to position the car so it won't roll. My favorite, brick. Prop that under there, give it a good kick. And I have 2 jack stands over here, and that's my creeper, by the way. Get under the car with that. I have 2 jack stands here. Prop that up in my Grimace Shake. Yeah, underneath the 2 points here, For a rear-wheel drive car on the front, I should be able to put it across the axle. I will show you those points. But first, I'll jack up the car. So my jack stand is from the OEM one. I will probably say it a million times, but Toyota is part of Lexus. Lexus is part of Toyota. So part of its mounting point here, you'll see the pinch weld in the frame here, and in between these two marks here, it's actually a marker where the jack is supposed to go. And I will mount that up in there. And it comes with this. Every car has its own form to jack this up easier. And I will prop that up. So as I jack the car up, you can see here, that's an O2 sensor, and that's the catalytic converter. Anything after the catalytic converter is downstream from it. There's one above it, and I haven't even seen it myself yet, but it is up there. That's the upstream one. That tells the engine the mixture between the fuel and oxygen and reports back. So I reached down here a couple days and I've been spraying this point here. This point needs to be sprayed at least a day before, and I will probably spray it once more before I even start going on it. Another thing you notice, you can't just put a socket over this. You need a open socket or a special kit. Oh man. So I'm a big fan of trying to save money where I can, unless it's like parts and stuff. But I spent $74. It's actually $60. I bought some other things on these two kits. One is a oxygen sensor wrench, which fits in over that sensor, and a socket set, which I would be able to attach to a breaker bar. And it has a 7/8 drive, a 7/8 drive once again. Just some different options we have here. And we have pretty good clearance, so I should be able to put this one on, attach it to a breaker bar, and go crazy on it. Oh, that's a start drive. Awesome. I think my smoothie's gonna get cleaned up. He's gonna eat the whole thing. He's eating the straw and all. Bro, excuse me. He's gonna get lost in there. What the hell? He doesn't even see. I'm working under there. I'm actually feeling lucky, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw a bunch more WD-40 on and go crazy with
Go crazy! Go stupid!
WD-40's PB Blaster brand competitor, and I feel like that's been better for me anyways, so I'm gonna try that out. So this bottle, it is has the Easy Reach top, and I would like a sponsor from WD-40. Yeah, so you spray it once before, a day before, once the day of, and then once when you start going at it. So we're gonna spray it again now. Yeah, I'll be getting under this side with that wrench, spraying this WD-40 penetrant one more time. And with the this handle, I barely even have to get near it. I could just soak it. Let that sit for a couple minutes, and I'm gonna go at it. I have yet to have one good time replacing an O2 sensor. This one is very locked, and I got my jack stand out, and I'm thinking, hey, that would fit in there. What can I do to break this loose? Oh, this will be my favorite method to do anything. It is loose. Oh Oh my gosh. Okay, I love this method. So yeah, my jack stand has a spot for the pinch weld here. I put I put the whole breaker bar in the middle here and just went at it, and it just went like nothing. So I didn't need to be jumping on it. I didn't need to kick it or anything. That's a really cool trick. So I unscrewed the old O2 sensor, and this is the downstream one once again. I will be able to show you guys a diagram. I could probably try and figure out why this failed. Apart from being as old as it is, there can be other reasons, and it could tell me about the engine health. Yeah, next we're gonna be going into where this routes to from the boot right here, and going inside the cabin and replacing it internally. A lot of the reason I was motivated to record this was there's not a lot online showing assistance with the LS400. I'm gonna need to vacuum this before we get there. I removed the floor mats. The wiring harness seems to come up from around here, so I'll remove some of the trim, and I have my trim tool up here and my other stuff. I'll remove this trim piece here and get the carpet up behind the gas pedal, and we'll see where the wiring harness connects to. So we're in, and it doesn't look like there's much of a Lexus interior here anymore, but what it took was removing this trim piece here, the main piece here, just to give it a tug along and be careful. I have this trim removal tool, which I only sort of use. So the carpet comes and it wraps around under the pedals. I had to remove the gas pedal, and that just has a small rod that comes along here. You slide out sideways, and there's two ball points that just come off. So fairly odd. That's how simple it is to put a gas pedal on, but they do it better than the Cybertruck. So there's this air duct here. You'll see it was positioned here just as that, and there's one bolt that comes along right here. Just take that one bolt off, wiggle this out, and you'll be able to and be careful of this hose. Be sure to connect this back in after. That's part of your it should be part of your AC system, and these cars drain so much AC liquid that you wouldn't want that building a koi pond in your footwell. So this connector here, I will probably get both hands on this, but it is just a push and pull. Push this down here and pull this off. So with a simple push and pull using both your hands, maybe one watching a YouTube video, you should be able to, and since the O2 sensor was disconnected, just route it right out. Try and preserve this boot if you can. I don't believe it came with a new one, but I will check. So never expect your car installs to go smooth. This connector is vastly different. There's the keyed ports around the edges, and there's only two legs on each side here. As well as, I never bothered to check the length. I'm going to cut this one here and solder it in and tap it on with the new connector, the old connector, and make the correct fit for us here. So now as the sun comes down, I've extended the wire harness. I will tape this up accordingly. I wanted to make sure that this is heat protected when I place it under, but it's basically going to be a reverse process. We drop this in. I will slide this in and show you guys the process after. So before you even bother connecting it, you're going to want to make sure it reaches. Not only that it reaches, but you want to make sure you don't have it connected, because you will be twisting it a lot. But you do have to route it through the top first, otherwise it won't fit. The connector head won't fit through the hole in the floor. And it is hand tight right now, and that's all I really
I'm concerned about. It's twisted slightly, and I will unbind it a little bit. We'll route as much of it as we can up through here, and less hanging off through the bottom is better.
So backtracking, the harness is plugged in. I taped off this connector, routed underneath this vent here. Make sure you put that one screw back in, and that this the evaporator and the drainage pipe here is plugged back in. Simple pull in, pull out, but if you leave it out, you're gonna have a puddle. Make sure your tools are out. You don't leave your gas pedal or this vent cover underneath the mat here, because you're going to want to tuck it all back in, same as you pulled it out. So with everything all buttoned up, it once again, you can see the luxury in it. I hand scraped out some dirt while I was in there. As for our harness down here, make sure it's not sagging as much as I have it sagging. We'll have this tucked in a little bit more. And for final notes of tightening it, you could look up the torque spec. Make sure you put that copper NECs if it comes with it. And there's a tapping bit. If you absolutely strip the bolt here, there's a tapping bit you can get to remake your threads. But yeah, look up the torque spec if you need it, but I'm gonna just do it tight. Good luck to the next person. So thanks guys. Yep, next video out soon. So a couple last things I wanted to note. Since repair seems to be completed, I checked the codes, nothing's showing up. Overall, if my takeaways is, if you have an extra jack, use it and bump this out of place. Use mechanical muscle over your own. Apart from that, we are on a good track. We'll have only a couple of things left to do that are big. I will look up the location of the upstream sensor. Hopefully I won't have to extend that one too, because I think it's going to be in a trickier location. The next thing we'll be doing is probably painting the calipers and brushing them off. But the valve cover gasket should be in, and the screws will be coming in even later. I do have concern for that because packages that come through USPS have been getting opened and stolen. So hopefully no issues with that. And I'll continue soon. So thanks guys.